Good morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. FLGC is right here. Holding pre-market support. So right now it's holding the support. Resistance is 235. Crazy wicks on, these are just crazy candle wicks from, oops, I pressed orange. From Weevil. So I know it's probably not the same on your broker, but this is what I see. So yeah, just the high is 235 here. If it breaks 235, it should continue. But at the moment, I don't know. You could try and take entries here. Your stop loss will be below $2. That's how I would trade this if I was to get it now. MLGO looks like this is the best play at the moment, but for me, if I was to enter this, I would have to wait for 754. So if it breaks above this with a candle closure, then I can expect it to keep going up. Right now, the current trend is bullish, as we can see. So whenever it gets this trend line, it looks like it's respecting it. So buy, buy, buy. Right, and then right now, if we're looking at the short-term resistance, it's just here. So $6.98. I would just round this to $7. So if it breaks above $7, then you have room to 750. 750 CGC. This is a number. This play is like extremely bullish. I mean, if you guys can't see this, this is clear as day, right? This wheat sector is pumping. So this is obviously on a shorter time frame. It's on the 5 minutes. So this is day trading setup, but respected demand zone entries were all here. It's looking very bullish. If it breaks its downtrend, 850 is your next resistance. So 851, so here, so resistance or support. Now resistance, if it breaks above, then you have room to $9 and then 948. Those are your levels on that. Lucid, I just saw they had news. What was the news on it? Announces investment of $1 billion by affiliate of PIF. I'm not too sure what that is, but yeah, news is news. That's why it's running. I'm assuming other EV plays are moving as well. I don't know. FSR, no, nothing really. No. How's Tesla looking? I saw the Boeing CEO step down, so that's going to give it some volatility. So yeah, that's why Boeing's up 3% because of that news. So at the moment, it looks like it's heading to this level, right? Why do we say that? Because this is simply based off technicals. Right, look what happened, right? This is, I know this is a large cap stock, but technicals still apply. This was previous resistance. Now that it's broken above, there's a higher probability it'll go to 197, right? Then obviously coming down. If it breaks 197, your next resistance is around here. These are your next like levels, but same rules apply. Good morning. ACB runs with CGC, Tilray, L-Fly, all of those, all the weed plays. So ACB is lagging compared to CGC, but you can see the sector in general. Look, same thing. They're both up. So whatever CGC and Tilray do, these will follow. But I mean, the simple trend is bullish, right? So at the moment, I would use pre-market support or low as support. So here. And then just mark the high, which is that. So right now, you don't really know what's going on. If you want to, you can kind of force the trend. It's bearish, but... And then just indicate this level here, I guess we can do as well, support. So we can have that as support for now. This is support below that. So if it breaks below this, I'll keep going, but it's kind of just holding this 481 at the moment. Good afternoon in the UAE. What up? Let's go, Ty. Glad I joined previous week. Welcome, Thomas, bro. Glad you're enjoying it. FSRX. I know this was a previous runner, or oh no, this was up 19. This was the one on Friday, I remember. So right now it's low volume, I can tell you by the candles. However, it is holding this area of support, which is 110, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So 110 is your area of support. It's respecting this demand zone. I don't know, it's a little bit difficult to try and enter this trade now because there's a lack of volume, because it can obviously come down, but if I was to consider any entries, it would be needed to break this trend line at least, obviously, because that indicates that it's going from a bearish trend to bullish. So at least if it breaks above this trend line, you're fine, but your major resistance is around here, 120. So higher risk entries now, safer above trend line, and then the safest entries are above 120. That's how you can trade FRSX, sorry. So wait for trend line break. Wait for trend line break. CNEY, let me have a look. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon. So CNNY has low volume. From what I can see, it's extremely bearish. I don't know if this is 52-week low or what. No, I don't think it's 52-week low, is it? No, it's not. That's 2030. No. So, I mean, just simply looking on the 4-hour, I like to use it because it gives me the pre-market and after hours. So the gray and the black. The black's intraday, gray's pre-market after hours. But simply just draw the trend line. If the trend is bearish, as you can see, there is no reason for you to be trying to enter this trade. If you're trying to take this trade, as I always mention every time I do these live trading sessions, you want the trend to break, okay? Because if you are going to be trying to take a downtrend trade, you are probably going to lose because it's going to probably keep going down. If it breaks above the trend line, so whatever this level is here, I don't know. If it breaks above 110, then there is a higher probability it will probably continue up, right? So that's how I would approach this play. I would have to wait for confirmation. But try to add now. I understand that maybe it's low and you think it will eventually reverse, which is the case, but how much lower do you know it will go? It's very, very, very difficult to know. So yeah, at the moment, it's very bearish. EGOX. So this is breaking out of the falling wedge, which I have marked here. Ignore these candles, this is from Webull, but at the moment it is bullish. Since it's broken out here, it should start pushing. You're right at VWAP. So if you break above this green line, which is VWAP, right, then you should expect continuation. If you want to take entries, I would wait for VWAP to be reclaimed. So you need a candle above that. But you can see every time it gets to VWAP, there's a lot of rejection. So if it breaks above VWAP, there's a higher probability it will continue up. Trying to enter now, it's okay if you try and enter now, but it looks like it is trying to break out as well. So yeah, it's not the cleanest of bullish pennants either. Yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, it's struggling to break VWAP at the moment. If it breaks VWAP, you should be fine. ADAP. So ADAP has low volume. Identify. So let's identify where is the demand zone. So the last red candle before the push up, it is this candle here. So this is your last red candle for the push up. Therefore, this is your most recent demand zone. So we can mark this as demand zone, right? So demand zone. So if a stock comes into demand zone, there's a high probability it will reverse off this level. Now we can identify the trend. The trend is bearish, okay? We can identify that obviously because of the rejections of the trend here, but we can also identify where are the next resistance levels. So around here, what is this? Yeah, 150 is a good psychological level. And then you have room all the way up here, and then literally all the way up to 205. So these are your levels at the moment. If you break above 150, there is a high probability you'll probably continue to about 179 or 180. It could be technically in a falling wedge as well, which is good. I can't really feel it. I don't want to go such a low falling wedge, but yeah, this chart setup is bullish. You do expect it to break out of this, but it does need volume to respect technicals as well. So keep that in mind. So ADAP is a bullish setup. So you can keep this one on watch if you like. If I was to enter this trade, I would try and enter obviously at the bottom of the support of this wedge, because that is lower risk. Try and enter resistance. There's a probability it can come down as well, but yeah, safe entries are above 150, but I would also try to look if you can get around 125. FSR, I think I just went over. Oh no, FSR didn't. FSR might run with Lucid news, but it doesn't look like it's moving at the moment. FSR is EV sector, same as Lucid. Yeah, at the moment it's very bearish. Nothing on this, unfortunately. Maybe a falling wedge, but it needs to wake up. This thing is 11 cents. I remember when this thing was. So here is a possible falling wedge, right? You can even move it to here. 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's respecting this very well. That is your major resistance over there, up here. We can put it here, around here. This is where most resistance is, 0.15. So you could try and look for entries here. Personally, I would wait for 0.15, or if it comes lower down to this level on FSR. So FSR is a falling wedge setup. If you guys have any questions about how I'm charting or anything, if you need me to explain, feel free to ask. I don't mind doing it either. EJAR, oh, FSR, FLGC is over here somewhere. Here. So FLGC is literally just consolidating at the moment. It's holding this previous pre-market high. It broke, retested, and it pushed up, but we need 235 for continuation to the upside. If you try to enter now, you could. I would just have my stop loss below $2. That's how I would set up this trade. EGOX, I think I just went over EGOX, yeah. So EGOX is here. It looks like it's trying to break out of this. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago, it needs to break above VWAP. VWAP is literally just above it here, so this green line. You can see that it keeps rejecting it. If it breaks above, there's a high probability it will continue up. It will move pretty quick if it does break above. Just remember that. FLGC, I just went over this. Same thing here. FIMA. FIMA, I don't have that one, unfortunately. Unless it's a different ticker name. MLGO, you missed it. Why did you miss MLGO? There's nothing to have missed on MLGO. On that one. LIDR. LIDR, nothing on this, to be honest. You just have a lot of resistance around here. What is this? 185 level. 185 is your major resistance level on this thing. But yeah, nothing on this at the moment. There's nothing on this. Here's your support around here. Personally, I would wait for it to get above 185 if I was to consider anything. VIVK. VIVK, it's up 17%. I'll add to my watch list, but looks like it's coming down real quick. Nothing on this right now, so this is just very easy. Just think about this logically. Why are you going to try and enter a trade now if it's coming down? I understand there's news or whatever it's running, but the easiest thing to do is just wait for it to break the high. If it breaks 135, there is a higher probability it'll go up. Why are you going to try and take a trade now when there is a probability, right now there's a higher probability it will probably go down? If you have this magic indicator, or if you know, right, that this is going to reverse, then fair enough, but you will probably lose if you're going to try and randomly just take this trade now. Wait for a high probability setup. The highest probability setup on this is if it breaks above 135, it will continue to the upside. You have to wait. Your headphones died. AMTX. AMTX. I think this was a runner last week, right? Yeah. At the moment, there's nothing on this. No volume. It's respecting this previous high. So this orange. So look, this was a previous high. Retrospecting here, maybe a possible double bottom, but at the moment, I don't know. I would just wait for a high break, which is around here. What's that? 593. So if it breaks 593, maybe you could look for an entry, or actually 594. At the moment, nothing on this, unfortunately. NMTC. NMTC. Did I just go over this? So NMTC is a very choppy chart, so it's difficult to chart this, but if we just look left and see where resistance is, it's around here. So this is your next area resistance, 145 at the moment. On this, has some news and volume. Yeah, it does, I think, but it's coming down. FAMI. Nothing on this. Someone asked me about this the other week. Nothing on this. You could draw this as your support level. Maybe you could try and take an entry here if you wanted to, but it's extremely low volume. Difficult to trade this kind of setup. Just identify the trend. The trend is bearish, therefore you should not be trying to enter unless the trend line breaks or if a resistance or high is broken. So this is a resistance level around here. So 0.958 is what you could wait for, but yeah, nothing on this in my opinion. MLG is pumping pre-market. Yeah, MLG looks good. I like this setup. I'm gonna see if it can get $7 and then hopefully 750. I'm waiting for 755 if I even consider anything. How are you identifying VWAP before the indicator on? How am I identifying it? What do you mean, how am I identifying it? It's just there, the VWAP is there, so what trade was it? It was one of these. Here, was it FRGC? No, it wasn't, it was some other stuff. EGOX, yeah. So look here, it's just VWAP there, look, I can see it. It's rejection. If it breaks above, high probability will go up. That's all. CYTO. CYTO. Okay, this is a good one. This is a former run as well. So now that it's running, I'll just identify some key levels. So obviously this was a previous high. Broke this, so I would use this level. Was this 268? Then next resistance level is probably around here. What is this? 345. So 345 is your next resistance level. A lot of rejection here, 1, 2, 3, all this, right? So now that it breaks above this, it should use this as an area of support, and then hopefully it does continue up. So if we have the 5-minute on here, right, we need more price action, but this is what your probability can be up to here and then all the way up, right? So that is a prediction on CYTO. I would definitely add this to your watch list. It is a former run as well, so yeah, it looks good. I would not even consider any entries now. If you are, then I don't know. You might as well go to the casino. SATX. So SATX is doing what I predicted the other day, I think. Down here, it's pushing up. It's pushing up to 0.81 at the moment, which is that level there. On SATX, but low volume. EBS or ESPR. ESPR. So ESPR, this one needs to break above 280. It is in a bullish trend, obviously. We can see that. It's clear as day. So you can go from here to here, right? Strong uptrend. But now trying to enter is a very difficult thing because you don't know if it's going to go up or down. If it breaks above 289, there's a high probability it will go down. That's simply how I would play this, but it is a former run as well, so I'd keep it on watch. EBS. EBS doesn't have much volume. Yeah, EBS, nothing until 266 break for me. Whatever this level is here. Like this resistance here, see this? Support, now resistance. If it breaks 266, then maybe you could consider some entries, but trying to enter now is not a good idea. Yeah, that's simply how I play EBS. You knew it was below VWAP. Yeah, I mean, it's just from experience because if you chart enough and you understand, basically if a stock runs up like this, right, it's going to be above VWAP. If it's pulling back, right, whatever this drop is, how much is this down? Like, if it's down 15% from its high, it will probably be around VWAP or below it. So if you see a stock even respecting as well, you can see that by just the price action. But this one, I would just indicate that it is, which one was it? Not MLGO. It was EGOX. Here, this one here. So look, you can see once it broke above VWAP, it was respecting VWAP, and then once it was below VWAP, it was rejecting it. Because if you don't have VWAP on, you can see, right, that this is an area of resistance right here. Rejections, support, right? So then I can identify that it's run up however much percent, or it's come down this much, right? It's down 20%. It's probably going to be below VWAP, right? Because it's always going to have a pullback, and you can see here right now it's below VWAP. So if it breaks above VWAP, then you can identify that it will probably go down. If it breaks above, then it goes up. It's kind of just, I don't know, just looking at charts a lot, you kind of have an idea that it will probably push up or go down. But usually if a stock is below VWAP, then you want it to be above. Ideally, you want it to be above, because that just indicates that it's strong bullish momentum. But I sometimes will enter below it. It doesn't really bother me, but that's just from experience. EGOX has already broken VWAP in pre-market. No, I know it's broken above VWAP pre-market, but what I'm talking about here is if you're trying to take a day trade, as this is a day trade setup, this is a bullish pennant, meaning you expect price to break out of this. But the fact that it is below VWAP right now, this green line, you can see that, right? You can see that it's below VWAP. It indicates that it is bearish, meaning that price is more likely to go down. If it breaks above VWAP, there is a high probability of go up. So, for example, once it broke above VWAP here, okay, you can see, right, that it continued to stay up. Once it broke below VWAP, right, it stayed below VWAP. So, if it breaks above VWAP, there's a higher probability that it will continue up. So, you can still try and enter the trade now. It's just higher risk if you are below VWAP, that's all. But for me, I use other confirmation and confluences other than VWAP for me personally. CXAI, nothing really on this, unfortunately. Maybe falling wedge, actually. Could be a possible falling wedge setup. I know this is a former runner as well, so yeah, maybe. As long as it holds this support. See this? This level here, whatever this is. 230. So 230 is your support. As long as you hold that level, you're fine. Because your next demand zone is all the way down here, which is a long way down. But so CXI might possible breakout. So the reason why I say that is simply because it's in a falling wedge. There is a higher probability that the stock will go up than go down. That's literally it. Nothing about anything else other than just the chart pattern. OCGN, this thing's insane. Damn. I will keep this on my watch list again today. 4-hour chart is extremely bullish. These are kind of trades that you want to take, not buy now because you're going to be chasing. How do you look for an entry on this? It is very, very easy. Identify the trend, wait for the trend to pull back to here, and then you can look for possible entries. Right, so you need it to basically pull back, what, 13% to around 170, 165. If it can pull back to that, then there is a high probability it will go up. But OCGN looks good. I don't know what news there is or anything on it. Sunshine, do you want to give any more, brother? You want to give any more tickers? KLG. KLG is very easy. Just identify the trend. The trend is bullish. There is low volume, but you have to trust the trend on this. So whenever it gets down to this trend line, there's a high probability it will push up. CDXC, another bullish stock. simply just in an uptrend. At the moment, you can see that this is a high here, this resistance. So it needs to close above that, then there'll be continuation. If we're looking on the daily, next resistance level is probably around here, and then like around here. So these are your levels on CDXC. So it breaks above this, then there's possibility it'll push to that side. LILM. This is simply just consolidating at the moment. So you can draw the high here, resistance, support is here. Right now it's just trading in this range. For me personally, I would have to wait for it to break above this level here. If it breaks above there, it's a high probability to go up. Trying to go below, it's probably going to keep going down. That's simply how I do it. ESPR is... Where's ESPR? I have it here somewhere. Here, ESPR. Yeah, so ESPR looks good at the moment. So ESPR is obviously just trending here. I would wait for 289 break if I was to consider anything, because I don't know what will happen until it breaks above. I know if it breaks above this level, there is a higher probability it'll go up. If it doesn't break above that, then I know it will probably stay down. It's just that simple. So I'm waiting for 289 break above. If I get my confirmation above, then I will look for possible entries. I've already full ported Reddit. I bought at the top, right at the top. Hodling. Very supports around here. The highs here. So all I would do is just wait for it to break above. Wait for break above 517, then I would look for possible entries. Trying to enter in this range right now is not worth my time. XLA is... It needs to break above this level. Major resistance at 285. If it breaks above 285, it's probably going to go to around 334. That's the level. Yeah, guys, like up the stream if you just joined. Like up the stream. So right now it looks like it's rejecting this 342, which is previous high here. You see this? This is your support level here because we've had the most touches here. You could have this level, but personally I would use this because this is where the biggest move happened. So up here, try to become support now, resistance, it broke above. Hopefully it can break above that and push to 377, but it can also push down to $3. So see if it can come down to $3, might be good buys. But remember, people sell the news. AGFY is just consolidating, nothing on this. If it breaks above, you can look for entries. If it goes below, then I just leave it. AGFY, I see it, brother. This is your chart right here. If it goes above 0.455, then you can look for entries. If it doesn't, then I would simply just wait. That's simply how I would do it. LABP. I think it's a, what is this? LABP. Reverse split. It's require. Requires lands per share cash. Announce a different. Just whatever. Yeah, I mean this is 20. Yeah, up 193% right now. Some news. So let's see what this does. I'm expecting this to reverse here. It looks very good. Looks good, looks good, looks good. All right, I'm going to head into the Discord. I see a couple of you guys have joined the Discord, so welcome. The live trading link will be sent out in like 20 minutes. I will send out a live trading link for you guys in the Discord. And then, yeah, if you have any questions about Discord, feel free to ask. Here is the link if you want to join. Let me just look at these stocks. Beacon. I don't know why is everyone liking this Beacon stock? I'm a little confused. Like everyone's going on about it. I don't know what's up with it. I mean, this is your demand zone here. You could use this. Basically, this level here is your demand. Like this is support level 312. So I personally would wait for this 312, but yeah, I don't know anything about stock, but everyone keeps messaging me about it. But yeah, NMTC, very low volume. It's difficult to analyze what's going on with this, but just this is kind of your resistance level here, like 139. Like 130 looks like it's heading to 139, but at the moment there's a lot of low volume. I know it's up 10%, but price action isn't quite there yet, at least. All right, guys, I'm going to head into Discord. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I will get back to you when I can.